struggle to understand.
They struggle to understand. Yes.
And struggle to identify.
Struggle to identify.
And may not seek clarification.
And may not seek clarification. So let me pull you back here to beginner. So I provided you with the listening and the speaking rubric. So if I am a beginning listener, when you ask me, and this is not like a perfect thing, but this is just an example. When you tell me that class, scholars, it's time to go to lunch today, and we are going to have chicken fried steak in the cafeteria, I need you to stand up behind your chair and line up at our door, at our door, so that we can head to the cafeteria. And you see how my body so I don't have any gestures or pictures or models or anything. When you say that, a beginning listener hears stand,
Cafeteria.
She might hear cafeteria, might, and is trying their best to like put that together. And you're over here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, class, and they say yes, right? So that's why we try to. That's why we have these language accommodations. There's nothing in the brain, there's no learning disability or something like that that's going on. It's the lack of understanding the language. And so today we're going to talk about some strategies to how to bring up about language and how to help our students feel that affective filter move up so that they're able to express to us what they know and function in the English part of your classroom. And I know a lot of you are ESL teachers, and you don't have the luxury of speaking in the home language of the student to help that transition. And so then we have intermediate. So think about that scenario again where I gave all those directions. The intermediate is going to hear go, cafeteria, line up, chicken fried steak. So there's some meaning there. There's some gist there. They know that we're going to get up, we're going to go line up, and in the brain, they're probably, I can't say this for sure, but they're probably kind of translating from Spanish to English, trying to make that meaning. So they have some vocabulary words. They understood some of those prepositions. So one key word that you would want to write in the intermediate is gist. And then when you get to advanced, the student can understand more complete sentences, more complete thoughts. They probably understood that, first we're going to do something in the classroom, then we're going to go to the cafeteria, and there's some steps that my teacher wants me to follow. And depending on how repetitive your routine is, because I'm talking about a routine right now, and they're going to get that. And it sometimes advanced seem like they're advanced high because maybe they're very good mathematicians. Maybe they've had some language instruction in their home country or in their home language. And so a lot of times, whenever you're very highly specialized in something, you will seem advanced because you're able to make that connection. And then advanced high, when you have advanced high learners, and I know you should be telling me these things too, but when you have advanced high, but I want to get to the strategy. When you have advanced high learners, then you have students that again can show you in more contexts. They can look at a whole list of sentence stems and sentence frames and say, you know what? I'm going to use that compare and contrast one. They could look at a word bank and fill it in. So a lot of times when you go to meetings like this or conferences like this, we give you that end strategy, right? But we rarely give you that how do you stretch that language strategy. And so I talked about the listening part. So with the speaking part, when they're trying to tell you, I'm going to get up from my chair and go line up at the door and walk with my hands behind my back and go through the cafeteria line and get my lunch and sit down. They know what they want to say, right? But a beginner speaker might say, stand, walk, there, like they have some meaning. A lot of times we say there's no meaning. Well, they have meaning. They're making meaning. It's just not that we don't know the meaning. We haven't given them the tools, or they haven't learned the tools to help us understand what meaning they're talking about. So then with your intermediate, they might say, I'm going to stand, I will line up, I will walk, I will eat. We're doing Rosetta Stone, so la mujer come, las mujeres nadan, things like that, where things are repetitive. I might know a little bit. And then we have advanced. Again, you'll start to see that they'll look at your boards, the ones you have up with your sentence phrases that you're using constantly, because they'll know. That's how they can ask for clarification, because they know there's a tool to help them. So on this rubric where it says L's begin to ask for clarification, they're not going to ask for clarification unless you're teaching them all along that there's some clarification here that we can ask each other. And then you have your advanced high. Again, when the advanced high speaks, there might be some language acquisition that you see there, but it's not a dramatic difference from someone else in your classroom. And so we know we can do telepath rubric all day. So I want to talk to you about stretching the language, what you can do to stretch that language. How can you get a beginner to an intermediate to an advanced or advanced high? And in this book called Scaffolding Language and Scaffolding Learning, there's a lot of strategies in this book, and we don't have time to do all of the strategies, but if you come to my multilingual Wednesday, you might have seen the strategy a little bit. But one of the strategies is called sane and different. And if you want to come and take a look over here to stand up, you can. If you want to stay at your seats, you can too. But one of the things that you want to do is, of course, think about your end skill. Are you inferencing? Are you trying to teach a process in science? Are you trying to teach a process in social studies? Okay, and know that that's where you want to get to. You want your kids listening, speaking, and writing, and reading in that skill. But instead of starting there, I'm going to start here. I'm going to ask you, what do you notice? What do you notice in these pictures?
The clock is telling you different times.
The clock is showing different times. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to let this, I don't want to mess up their board, and to tell you the truth, even if it was a smart board, I'm still not sure how to use them. So I'm just going to do it this way. So let's say that this picture was on a smart board or here, and you just said, tell me what you said?
The clock shows you different times.
The clock shows you different times. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to say clock. Okay, what else do you notice?
The
Cake.
The amount of bananas on the table, 3 and 2.
Okay, the cake is different.
Can I help you?
Yes, please. You're always a help. Do you have to help me like almost every time you come to my presentation? I should pay him. Okay, the cake, and then
the cake or the bananas.
The
the bananas. Show me the bananas. Can somebody come show me the bananas? Come show me. So I'm gonna ask certain people that I know that that's where they're at. Come show me the bananas. So, and I'm gonna try not to say gonna. I videotaped myself doing a read aloud. I was like, I have got to stop this. I will show them banana. They will show me banana because I'm trying to. So we have banana, and we'll do banana. And I'll say, oh my gosh, what are we noticing here? We're seeing a lots of same and different. I don't know how to go back. Okay, we're seeing a lot of same and different. So I might say same.
Uh-oh, can't touch it. Don't touch.
I might say same and different. And then I want to say the clock is, or the clocks are different. Different. So say that with me. The clocks are different. The cakes, or I could say the cake, if I wanted to just stick to singular. the cake is different. But then I would just be talking about this one picture. The cake is different. Yes, thank you. We put a period at the end of complete thoughts. Say that with me. The cake is different. That's a complete thought. So I'm not going to like make that my lesson, but I could easily just throw that in. So I could choose for my frame to be this, or I could choose for my frame to be this. But what I want to do is stretch it. So over here, I could also just say the clock, and then stretch it out into a sentence stem or a sentence phrase. And so now I've gone through same and difference. Wow, this book seems like, I mean, these pictures are teaching us a lot about
similarities and differences.
Yeah, noticing similarities and differences. But I'm thinking about what am I learning at the end? Maybe I tie it back to our inferencing, or I tie it back to details.